Hello, all you beautiful people out there, and welcome to me for another Saturday live stream. Um, Sorry I wasn't on earlier. Uh, I'm gonna try to get through the whole 4 chapters today, but um, no guarantees. I've been kind of anxious today, so we'll see. All right. So anyway, first we have comment of the week. And today's comment of the week goes to Scapegoat Iscariot 2767. And they say 21 grams was the weight of his soul at death, not steady weight throughout his life. That weight changed every time he took a dump. And yeah, that's true. If you don't know what uh, Judas is talking about, um, they in the video I'm replying to, um, they referenced the 21 gram experiment. Um, you can probably Google it with 21 gram experiment. So anyway, yeah. But at any rate, if you want to know what we're talking about, watch the response video. And at any rate, alrighty. So let me share my screen and we will get to um, to the attraction, I guess you could say, of the day. Sorry, I'm having brain farts all over the place. Um, um, which is making fun of the Bible or my interpretation, the interpretation that I grew up with. Jews, I am not making fun of you. Please, just, you know, bear with me. This is the interpretation I grew up with, so it's probably not the interpretation. Okay? Alrighty. Now, let's begin, shall we? Job 14. Man that is born of a woman is a few days and full of trouble. He cometh forth like a flower and is cut down. He fleeth also as a shadow and continueth not. And dost thou open thine eyes? Hang on. Um, just a minute. I'm in the KJV version. Uh, I had to look up a KJV verse because that's what um, somebody was using, so had to use the KJV. Let me change it to the NIV so you know what the fuck they're talking about. Just a minute. Okay, this is better. Alrighty. Uh, Now let me go back and share my screen again. Sorry about that. Okay, let me make sure you can see it, and you can. And all right, this is better. Mortals born of woman are a few days and full of trouble. They spring up like flowers and wither away, like fleeting shadows. They do not endure. Do you fix your eye on them? Will you bring them before you for judgment? Okay, somebody, I'm assuming Job is talking to God. Verse 4. Who can bring what is pure from the impure? No one. A person's days are determined. You have decreed the number of his months and have set limits he cannot exceed. So look away from him and let him alone till he has put in his time like a hired laborer. At least there's hope for a tree. If it is cut down, it will sprout again. Mm, sometimes. If it's uprooted, it won't. But anyway, doesn't say uprooted, it says cut down. So yeah. And its new shoots will not fail. Its roots may grow old in the ground and its stump die in the soil. Yet at the scent of water, it will bud and put forth shoots like a plant. I don't think a dead tree can come back to life. But anyway, I'm not an arborealist. All right. Um, but a man dies and is laid low. He breathes his last and is no more. As the water of a lake dries up, or a riverbed becomes parched and dry, so he lies down and does not rise. Till the heavens are no more, people will not awake, or be roused from their sleep. If only you would hide me in the grave and conceal me till your anger has passed. If only you would set me in time and then remember me. If someone dies, will they live again? All the days of my hard service, I will wait for the renewal to come. You will call, and I will answer you. You will long for the creature your hands have made. Surely then you will count my steps, but not keep track of my sin. My offenses will be sealed up in a bag. You will cover over my sin, but as a mountain erodes and crumbles, and as a rock is moved from its place, as water wears away stone, and torrents wash away the soil, so you destroy a person's hope. You overpower them once for all, and they are gone. You change their countenance and send them away. Gee, God, that's great. He's really, you know, he's really selling you out here short, God. Why are, why have this depressing shit in the Bible? Especially because it doesn't make God look any better. Of course, the Bible doesn't make God look good. At least the way I was taught to, you know, interpret the Bible. But anyway, verse 21. If their children are honored, they do not know it. If their offspring are brought low, they do not see it. They feel but the pain of their own bodies and mourn only for themselves. Chapter 15. Then Eliphaz the Temanite replied, would a wise person answer with empty notions or fill their belly with the hot east wind? Would they argue with useless words with speeches that have no value? But you even undermine piety and hinder devotion to God. Your sin prompts your mouth. You adopt the tongue of the crafty. Your own mouth condemns you, not mine. Your own lips testify against you. Really? Really? I think this is like um one of my live streams a few live streams back with friends like these who needs enemies. Yeah, really. Great going, Eliphaz. Just boy his spirits just a little bit more. Okay, verse 7. Are you the first man ever born? Were you brought forth before the hills? Do you listen in on God's counsel? Do you have a monopoly on wisdom? What do you know that we do not know? What insights do you have that we do not have? The gray-haired and the aged are on our side, men even older than your father. Are God's consolations not enough for you, words spoken gently to you? Why has your heart carried you away, and why do your eyes flash, so that you vent your rage against God and pour out such words from your mouth? What are mortals that they could be pure, or those born of woman that they could be righteous? If God places no trust in his holy ones, if even the heavens are not pure in his eyes, how much less mortals who are vile and corrupt, who drink up evil like the water? Okay, I want you to notice something. Verse 14. I'll read it again. What are mortals that they could be pure, or those born of woman that they could be righteous? Wasn't Jesus born of a woman? According to Christianity. Now, Catholicism, they're like the Immaculate Conception, which is something entirely different. They believe that Mary was born of a virgin. Not quite sure why. I have to delve into that. But anyway, moving on, verse 15. If God places no trust in his holy ones, if even the heavens are not pure in his eyes, how much less mortals who are vile and corrupt, who drink up evil like water? Listen to me, and I will explain to you. Let me tell you what I have seen. Why? Why should Job listen to you? You're just bringing him down. What the wise have declared, hiding nothing received from their ancestors, to whom alone the land was given when no foreigners moved among them. All his days the wicked man suffers torment, the ruthless man through all the years stored up for him. Terrifying sounds fill his ears. When all seems well, marauders attack him. He despairs of escaping the realm of darkness. He is marked for the sword. He wanders about for food like a vulture. He knows the days of darkness is at hand. Distress and anguish fill him with terror. Troubles overwhelm him like a king poised to attack, because he shakes his fist at God and vaunts himself against the Almighty. Mm-hmm. And what if there is nobody to shake their fist at? Never thought of that one, did you? All right, verse 26. Defiantly charging against him with a thick, strong shield, though his face is covered with fat and his waist bulges with flesh, he will inhabit ruined towns and houses where no one lives, houses crumbling to rubble. He will no longer be rich, and his wealth will not endure, nor will his possessions spread over the land. He will not escape the darkness, a flame will wither his shoots, and the breath of God's mouth will carry him away. Let him not deceive himself by trusting what is worthless, for he will get nothing in return. Before his time he will wither, and his branches will not flourish. He will be like a vine stripped of its unripe grapes like olive tree shedding its blossoms, for the company of the godless will be barren. Okay, how do you know you're not godless, Eliphaz? Not that I believe in God, but anyway, for another time. And fire will consume the tents of those who love bribes. They conceive trouble and give birth to evil. Their womb fashions deceit. Chapter 16. Then Job replied, I have heard many things like these. You are miserable comforters, all of you. Well, good for you, Job. Tell 'em off. Will your long-winded speeches never end? What ails you that keep you on arguing? I also could speak like you if you were in my place. I could make fine speeches against you and shake my head at you, but my mouth would encourage you. Comfort from my lips would bring you relief. Yet if I speak, my pain is not relieved, and if I refrain, it does not go away. Surely, God, you have worn me out. You have devastated my entire household. You have shriveled me up, and it has become a witness. My godness rises up and testifies against me. God assails me and tears me in his anger, gnashes his teeth at me. My opponent fastens on me his piercing eyes. People open their mouths to jeer at me. They strike my cheek in scorn and unite together against me. God has turned me over to the ungodly and thrown me into the clutches of the wicked. All was well with me, but he shattered me. He seized me by the neck and crushed me. He has made me his target. His archers surround me. Without pity, he pierces my kidneys and spills my gall on the ground. Again and again, he bursts upon me. He rushes at me like a warrior. I have skewed sackcloth. I have sewed sorry, I have sewed sackcloth over my skin and buried my brow in the dust. My face is red with weeping. Dark shadows ring my eyes, yet my hands have been free of violence and my prayer is pure. Earth, do not cover my blood. May my cry never be laid to rest. Even my witness is in heaven. My advocate is on high. My intercessor is my friend. As my eyes pour out tears to God on behalf of a man, he pleads with God as one pleads for a friend. Only a few years will pass before I take the path of no return. For chapter 17, my spirit is broken, my days are cut short, the grave awaits me, surely mockers surround me. My eyes must dwell on their hostility. Give me, O God, the pledge you demand. Who else will put up security for me? You have closed their minds to understanding. Therefore, you will not let them triumph. If anyone denounces their friends for reward, the eyes of their children will fail. God has made me a byword to everyone, a man whose face people spit. My eyes have grown dim with grief. My whole frame is but a shadow. The upright are appalled at this. The innocent are aroused against the ungodly. Nevertheless, the righteous will hold to their ways, and those with clean hands will grow stronger. But come on, all of you, try again. I will not find a wise man among you. My days have passed, my plans are shattered, yet the desires of my heart turn night into day. In the face of darkness, a light is near. If the only home I hope for is the grave, if I spread out my bed in the realm of darkness, if I say to corruption, you are my father, and to the worm, my mother, my sister, where is my hope? Who can see any hope for me? Will it go down to the gates of death? Will we descend together into dust? Chapter 18. Then Bildad the Shuhite replied, when will you end these speeches? Be sensible, and then we can talk. Why are we regarded as cattle and considered stupid in your sight? You who tear yourself to pieces in your anger, is the earth to be abandoned for your sake, or must the rocks be moved from their place? The lamp of a wicked man is snuffed out, the flame of his fire stops burning, the light in his tent becomes dark, the lamp beside him goes out, the vigor of his step weakened, his own schemes throw him down, his feet thrust him into a net. He wanders into a mesh. A trap seizes him by the heel. A snare holds him fast. A noose is hidden for him on the ground. A trap lies in his path. Terrors startle him on every side and dog his every step. Calamity is hungry for him. Disaster is ready for him when he falls. It eats away parts of his skin. Death's firstborn devours his limb. He is torn from the security of his tent and marched off to the king of terrors. Fire resides within his tent. Burning sulphur is scattered over his dwelling. His roots dry up below, and his branches wither above. The memory of him perishes from the earth. He has no name in the land. He is driven from light into the realm of darkness and is banished from the world. He has no offspring or descendants among his people, no survivor where once he lived. People of the West are appalled at his fate. Those of the East are seized with terror or horror, excuse me. Surely such is the dwelling of an evil man, such is the place of one who does not know God. Oh, great. Just tell him, you're going through this because you sinned and you don't know God, so you deserve everything that's happening to you. Great. Like I said, with friends like these, who needs enemies? Hey, Tarum. Yeah, right. Oh, wait till we get to God's tantrum. Hey, Limited, wait till we get to God's tantrum. That's really gonna cheer you up. But yeah, blame Job reminds me of Christians today. You know, you got problems? Well, you must have sinned somewhere along the line because God wouldn't let something happen to the righteous. Really, really. The whole book of Job is supposed to be a refutation of you're suffering because you've sinned. That's the whole point of Job. And yet, for some reason, Christians today, not all Christians, you know, don't think that I think that all Christians are this way, but a lot of Christians today have bought into this health and wealth philosophy. If you're suffering, it's because you sinned somewhere along the way. No fucking clue. They have no fucking clue. Of course, most of them have never read the Bible, and if they had read the Bible, most of them would not be Christian. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's really, it's really, really sad that this religion has been around 2,000 years. It really is. And, hopefully it's not going to be around another 2,000 years. But, you know, I'm not going to be around 2,000 years. I wish it would go away in my lifetime, but doesn't seem like it's going to do that. But yeah, imagine that. Yep, Term, he sure does. He sure does. Of course, that's assuming God exists, but, you know, we'll assume that for, argument's sake. So, anyway, yeah. What can you do? Uh, Hang on, I think I hear someone knocking on my door. Actually, I'm done, so, you know, um, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Bye.